With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Russell for the 16th of April, 2018. Now, you might notice there's a bit of a format change on the channel. Once again, I do have a video that's a state of the channel update from last night that goes through the changes and to why they're happening. It will be linked in the video description. So going forward, we're going to do one video a day with multiple stories, and I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be all right. It's going to be a bit of a change for you and for me, but I do appreciate you guys sticking around and checking it out. And don't worry, there will be timestamps, so you'll be able to jump around to the stories that you like. Unless you're on mobile, then you're kind of fucked. But I love you. I love you anyway. I do. I love you anyway. But first up tonight, I do want to say that it's a bit of a sad day. Legendary. I don't even know if there's any other word to describe this guy other than legendary. Pure motherfucking magic, in my opinion. But Ermey passed away today at the age of 74 due to complications with pneumonia. The news came out today on a tweet from his longtime manager, Bill Rogan, saying, "It is with deep sadness that I regret to inform you that Ermey, the Gunny, passed away this morning from complications with pneumonia. He will be greatly missed by all of us." And that's true. It's super true. This is a guy that I first saw on Full Metal Jacket and then loved him in The Frighteners and loved him in Saving Silverman. Surprisingly, one of the only good things about that movie. As well as his shows on History Channel and his general overall demeanor. The dude that you know could scare the living crap out of you. And then also still kind of be like a big puppy dog from what I've been told. He just kind of has that gentleness after he threatens to tear off your head and then shit down your neck. And so to Ermey, I can simply say, rest in peace, good sir. You served our country, you served pop culture, and you are one for the ages. And I think that with the death of Art Bell and Milos Forman this weekend, we've hit the rule of three as far as famous deaths go. I hope everyone else holds on for dear life. Mel Brooks, I'm looking at you, but I just want to put that out there. But with that being said, I want to jump over to a pressing issue involving Starbucks, where in Philadelphia the other day, a viral video went out of two black men being arrested for just sitting inside Starbucks. Yeah, this is the world we live in now. But you know, they're currently under fire from a lot of social activists and racial activists because they are very much trying to fight back against this type of racial profiling, of which I don't necessarily blame them, because the idea of what happened comes across as one of just pure stupidity, and someone was just, I want to say a manager was acting like a complete asshat. But according to USA Today, Starbucks has apologized and says that the apology comes amid a growing firestorm, including calls for a boycott after police at a Starbucks in Center City district of downtown Philly handcuffed and arrested two men after store employees said they were trespassing. The men, according to police, had asked to use the restroom, but employees, citing store policy that only paying customers could use the restroom, refused. They sat back down to wait and wouldn't leave when asked by employees to do so. Then, of course, the police were called, and the video was recorded of the two men being talked to by police who were just sitting in Starbucks, the arrival of the white guy who was there meeting them, and then they're being handcuffed and let out of the store. The Philadelphia Inquirer identified the white man as real estate developer Andrew Yaffe. He says, what did they get called for? Because they were two black guys sitting here to meet me. What did they do? What did they do? Now, it goes on to say here that the police were called because these men hadn't ordered anything. They were waiting for a friend to show up who did as they were taken out in handcuffs for doing nothing. All the white people are wondering why it's never happened to us when we do the same thing, wrote Melissa DePino, who posted the video on Twitter, and it's now been seen more than 9.5 million times. Of course, Starbucks has apologized for this, and that's not going to stop people from calling for the boycott. That's not going to stop people from pushing for the boycott. And ultimately, I understand it. I get it. I understand why they want to call for a boycott to Starbucks on this one. It was a real dumb move, but I have to kind of like take Starbucks side for a hot second. Not saying I agree with it, but the guys came in there, wanted to use the bathroom. They said, no, you got to buy something. Then they didn't buy anything. They just sat down. They probably were told, hey, listen, if you're not going to buy anything, you got to leave, which makes no sense for a Starbucks because, come on, how many people just go there to soak up the free Wi-Fi and get free water? So that's weird. And then I think there might have been a little bit of pushback, a little bit of attitude, as tends to happen in these situations. The manager wanted to espouse his essence, his machismo of being a manager, and then booted the guys out or ordered them to be left or to leave. They said no, the cops were called in. And I understand where the manager is coming from, because I've been in similar situations, not because anyone was waiting around or whatever, but people who are causing problems and not wanting to leave. So having to call the police on them and whatnot. This is just one thing that makes no sense to me. If they were waiting for somebody, they should be fine with that. Is it not okay to wait in a Starbucks now? Like, I'm totally on the side of the activists for wanting to get more than an apology. I do think that the manager was trying to throw his weight around, and there should be some reprimand there. But boycotting Starbucks as a whole isn't going to really work. I hate to break it to you. Reason why is because people out there just love their Starbucks. It won't happen when Christians are calling for it. It won't happen when activists are calling for it. Starbucks kind of has the market on everything. However, other coffee companies right now would be remiss to actually not jump in on the fight and start putting anti-Starbucks adverts out there. Get on Twitter, get real snarky, right? Emulate Wendy's. You know, get on there, throw some bants at Starbucks and try to get people to come into them. Now is the time for these other companies to essentially fill the caffeine void, because let's face it, folks, who doesn't love caffeine? Okay, so jumping over into international weird-ass news. China has done some dumb stuff once again, and this is all about social media and them basically going as far as to scrub their social media of pretty much all gay content or any kind of gay themed content. China is putting a crackdown on the LGBT, and of course they are, because it's China. When isn't China going to be, you know, communist? Because that's exactly what they are. But it says here that gay-themed content has been scrubbed from Sina Weibo, one of China's largest social media platforms. The action was reported by state-owned tabloid newspaper The Global Times, which said that the detoxification program is to last 3 months. So that's an interesting way to call getting rid of gay-themed content the detoxification process. Kind of sounds like what Baked Alaska did to his YouTube subs. So you've got that. You've got them going through and scrubbing all this stuff. It says that it's also cleaned up over 56,000 unregulated posts, closed 108 accounts, and removed other discussion topics. Okay, so it's closed 108 accounts. I'm pretty sure there's more than 108 gay people inside of China. But I have to kind of crack up, though, at the 56,000 unregulated posts. Were those 108 accounts really, really, really active in China's LGBT scene? Now, the action is being taken to further make a clean and harmonious community environment, and is being done according to laws and regulations such as cybersecurity law, Sina said in a notice posted to its site. So it's trying to make clean and harmonious community environment. I don't quite know if you've ever met gay people, China. They're pretty harmonious. Catty, sure, but harmonious. And they can really kind of help make a good community. So I just find that to be so ridiculously stupid. Now, Sina said that its targets include pornographic, violent, or gay-themed cartoons, pictures, videos, and articles, as well as such content as / gay boys love and gay fictional stories. The notification itself was reposted more than 20,000 times. So they're going through and they're finding /fic, cut and /fic. That's probably the only thing there I'll actually legitimately believe them on. People have written /fic about me, so I'm okay with it being scrubbed from the internet. You know, just in general. I'm obviously kidding. You should have the right to write, freedom to write what you want, even in China. But getting rid of pornographic and, you know, gore images and things like that. Like, again, China just lives in this weird smog-filled bubble. And the more they push this stuff, the more this stuff goes underground, right? And I understand that with President Xi getting the lifetime presidency thing now, and of course no one in the international community is even remotely pushing back on that at all, right? Like no one, especially not our president, is chiming in and going like, hold on a second, you know, or Angela Merkel, I'm a Newton bitte. Like, isn't democracy like a thing, right? Shouldn't people who live in democratic nations or have democracy in their governments like push for that to be a continued staple? The last thing we want are monarchies. The last thing we want are these kind of things. But of course, you know, hey, scrubbing gay content from social media. That's the real problem here, right, China? Never mind the fact that you guys let your democracy die in darkness. Ah, jeez. China, China, China. But here's the thing. Until we like actually get into a huge trade war with them, or we find a way to manufacture the same products they do for the same price that they do or cheaper, which will never happen. But if we ever did, then China would be screwed. And so if Trump ever really wants to screw China, find a way to do everything they do, but cheaper and more efficient. And that's how you would screw them over. But again, because everything's fine in terms of our connection with them, maybe in terms of money, maybe not the tariff aspect right now, but just our relationship with them. Yeah, no one's going to say a word about this. And finally today, guys, we've got a tragic tale. This is a very tragic story. The man you see on the screen right here is David S. Buckle. He is a lawyer out of Brooklyn who very much fought to legalize same-sex marriages. He is dead in an act of self-immolation. Yeah, you heard that right. This dude legitimately set himself on fire in public. It says here that a prominent gay rights attorney who led lawsuits legalizing same-sex marriage set himself on fire in Brooklyn on Saturday morning in a fatal plea for action on issues related to the environment. Sure, that seems right. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to mock this guy's death or anything like that, but it's like, yeah, we need to fix the environment. Hold on, I know. Gasoline in a match. It's just... I don't find that to be the most effective thing ever. The body of David S. Buckle, 60 years old, was found near Prospect Park's baseball fields around 6:30 in the morning on Saturday after a passerby reported a severely burned individual. The note he had on him said, "I am David Buckle, and I just killed myself by fire as a protest suicide." Read a handwritten suicide note saying, "I apologize to you for the mess." Well, at least he was polite about it, I guess. I don't understand how one could sit there and want to protest the environment, or protest, to help the environment by lighting himself on fire and therefore releasing more bad fumes into the atmosphere. Never mind the fact you're doing it in the middle of the night on Friday, going to the middle of a baseball park, burning yourself on, just lighting yourself on fire and then go, I don't get it. I don't, it sucks, but I don't get it. Now, another note found near his body, which also can email to local news outlets, said his self-immolation was a call to action, saying pollution ravages our planet, oozing inability via air, soil, water, and weather. Most humans on the planet now breathe air made unhealthy by fossil fuels, and many die early deaths as a result. My early death by fossil fuels reflects what we have been doing to ourselves. I get it, right? I do. I get it. I get it. But I don't feel that's the right course of action. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to speak ill of this guy. I don't want to be like, that's a really dumb thing to do. Even it is. But I get where his mind was at. But it's like, there's got to be another way. You can do more good alive than you can do dead. I think that's pretty apparent at this point. I think most people realize that you can do better things alive while you can dead. But unfortunately, this is where David felt his life had to go. He felt this was his ultimate goal. This was his ultimate meaning. And it's tragic. There's no other way to define it but tragic. Part of me wonders if when this story develops more, when they conduct an autopsy, they discover he had terminal cancer or some kind of debilitating illness or mental problems, and that's what pushed him down this path. And like, as much as I don't want, anyone to suffer with any of those things, I feel like it would be like at least an explanation, some kind of closure as to what would have caused him to do this, outside of just, I'm doing this to protect the environment. I'm going to kill myself with fossil fuels so people out there know that they're bad. It doesn't seem like the best use of one's time on this planet, because most people are going to hear, oh, this dude set himself on fire to protest, hurting the environment. They're not even going to focus on anything else he did it for. They're going to go, wait, he did what now? He put himself on fire now for what? For the environment? No, that's crazy. And then they're going to move on with their day. I don't want to call it a noble act. I don't want to call it a wasted act. It's somewhere in between, which arguably is probably the worst place it could be. Anyway, guys, that wraps up this episode of Rustle. Today, of course, is the 16th of April, 2018. Hope you guys like the new format, quicker videos, get more of them out there, get more stories. Be sure to leave your comments and your feedback. I do look forward to hearing them. Don't forget that I also do live streams Sunday through Thursday, and those are going to be up at about 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys can come check those out, and I will talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. If you got stories you want to submit, mundanemat.com/submit, link below in the video description. Have a great one. Talk to you guys later, and peace out. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe, click on that bell, and follow me on social media. It's the best way to stay up to date on all things Mundane Matt, as well as check out 3 Buck Theater and the Rustle podcast streaming Sunday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on russell.net. Thanks very much and have a great day.